overstimulation is robbing us of our ability to communicate with other human beings. Now, I'm gonna tell you my story. So, when I was younger, I used to love reading. And I would always read Big Nate, and I'd be asking my mom to read Big Nate at the dinner table, right? So the dinner table, family dinner, we're all eating, and I'd be asking my mom if I could read Big Nate at the dinner table. And at first she said no, like every good parent should, right? So you're like, oh no, you should. The dinner table is for family time, right? And what I did was I just kept arguing with my mom until eventually she gave in. She let me read Big Nate at the dinner table. Fast forward a few years, I get my phone, right? And then what happens is Big Nate and reading Big Nate all the time and just reading all the time in general, right? I used to be the type of kid to bring a book everywhere. Everywhere I was bored, I would just start reading. That habit, which was originally good because it's reading, right? And reading's a good thing to do. That was originally good, got replaced by my stupid phone. And so now at the dinner table or just anytime I had a free time, I would just go on my phone. I would scroll, I would check things, I would watch a YouTube video because it replaced reading for me. And at first my mom was also like, hey, no, you can't watch YouTube videos at the dinner table, right? But I was coping with her, right? So I was like, oh no, but I'm watching educational videos, so I'm learning something. And at the time, low-key I was watching hella like Kurt's Gazette, I was watching Veritasium, I was watching all these science channels, right? But then like, it's very blurred and fuzzy, the line between educational and just like entertaining YouTube videos, you know what I mean? And gradually that devolved more and more, till eventually like at dinner, I was just watching like anime and like Mr. Beast, and for example, right? And I existed like that for a long time. Basically, everyone else is at the dinner table. Everyone else, like, is usually talking, to be honest. Like, I was usually kind of the only one, like, overstimulated sometimes, right? But then gradually, like, I see my parents, I see my older brother, I see my sister, like, all, like, just, like, crack open their phones, crack open their laptops over the dinner table. And then now, when we have family dinners, when my brother's gone, right? My brother's in uni. But, like, when we have dinner tables before, I'm just, like, look around. It's just, I'm on my phone. I'm watching a YouTube video. My sister's watching a YouTube video. My brother's, like, scrolling through Reddit or something. Both my parents are watching some Chinese drama, and I just think like, wow, to think that like 6 years ago, we would all be like chatting about how our day was and yada yada yada. It would be such like a wholesome thing, right? And I think that's what overstimulation has done to us. That's one of the biggest dangers overstimulation and social media in particular has done is it's robbed us of our ability to just basically communicate and have elegant conversations with other human beings because we are so absorbed in our phones and the digital world to actually like build genuine connections. You've probably seen this as well. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming like you've probably seen this in your own family, right? Like how many people do you know actually go home and like during the dinner it's just like, oh, how's your day? Oh, I did this today, I did this, yada yada yada, right? Maybe it's different for me because I'm a first generation immigrant. And a lot of my friends are first, I live in Canada, right? A lot of my friends are first generation, I don't know. Our parents came here from a different country and they had us. So there's a little bit of a language barrier as well, right? So it's like kind of hard seldom to like communicate with our parents. And that just makes me really sad sometimes. Sometimes I just sit here and I think, and I'm like, I don't actually know that much about my parents, my mom and my dad. Like I barely know where they're from. I don't know what their childhood was like. I don't even know, I don't know their favorite colors. I don't know like what they like as a person. I don't know if they're like loud or energetic because I've just never bothered to learn that thing. And I'm very lucky. I'm extremely lucky. I'm still 17, right? So recently I've been trying to learn more, right? I like been talking to my parents more on the dinner table. I try my best to put my phone down, and just have a conversation with my parents, with the rest of my family. But a lot of people don't have that chance. I think a lot of people realize this way too late. A lot of people take their parents for granted. And that's something I don't want to do. You know what I mean? One of my biggest fears is that like my parents dying. And it's just like I didn't get to know them better. Or if the other fear is that like if they died a preventable death and if I worked harder I could have prevented it. But like the main thing for this video is that like, you know, I'm scared, man. If my parents die and I don't get to know them better, like I think I'll carry that regret with me for the rest of my life. And so I've been doing like what I can, right? I'm 17, so I'm very grateful I came to this realization earlier rather than when I'm like 40 or 45. That would have been really, really sad to be honest. But I'm hoping that this video reaches somebody who is in like the same boat as me. Right? They don't know their parents that well. They haven't connected that well. Not just their parents. They don't know a lot of people that well. Maybe their grandparents, maybe friends. You know what I mean? Because we're so absorbed in our phones, in the digital world, and overstimulation to go make that connection. So I just want this video to like reach at least one person, right? If you're watching this video, go connect. Like put your phone away, put your laptop away. If you're just doing some BS, and just go talk with the people around you. You know what I mean? This is something I'm trying to do more as well. Like even in the gym as well. I realize like in the gym, I usually just like listen to music and I walk around when I'm resting, right? I could be talking to people. Now, obviously, some people probably like don't want to talk to me, whatever. That's fine, right? The people who don't want to talk to you, the people who don't, are the people who don't want to talk to you. But I'm willing to bet that 9 times out of 10, if you just strike up a conversation with a stranger, it is going to be sweet and it is going to be nice and it is going to be wholesome. Because that's how it is for me. When random strangers, like when strangers better than me, better at socializing than I am, go up to me and talk to me, it's always like a little flattering. It's like, oh, you're talking to me, and we have an excellent conversation. That's also something I try and bring through my work, right? So I work a job. I'm sort of like a cashier. I'm like at everything. I do everything except for cook at this like place I work at. And recently, every single customer that walks in, I ask them like, "Oh, how are you? How's your day going? Oh, what'd you do? Oh, crazy weather, right?" I try to strike up a little conversation because it makes life so sweet. It makes life so sweet. And if other people don't do that to you, I think that you should at least do that to other people. Provide other people that like little like sweetness and like connection in their lives. You know what I mean? But back onto the topic of overstimulation, I think it's so dangerous, bro. If we go back before there were cars, before there were phones, before there was anything, how did people communicate information? They dead ass like took a horse, bro, and they just rode from like city to city. It would take them like months to travel. You know what I mean? Like months to get from a place to place, like from point A to point B. And oftentimes, you travel months to do one thing. You travel 3 months so you could like tell one person like, hey, your dad died. And then you travel 3 months back. 6 months of your life. 6 months, half a year of your life spent on horseback to tell one person one thing. Like, that's wild. That at least to me, that seems like such a foreign concept. Like, that's crazy. I could never imagine spending 6 months of my life doing literally nothing. Like, you're just on a horse, just like with your own thoughts through like nature on like a path or something. There's like a 50% chance you get like stabbed and robbed by like thieves on the road. But like, I feel like back then that was so common. That was the thing. You know, it's just like a fact of life. And even before that as well, it's like people used to do the same shit for like their whole lives. And that used to be normal and not, and like even like a wonderful thing. Like a 6-year-old would just like start blacksmithing, and he would just do blacksmithing for like 70 years of his freaking life. Like day in, day out, always doing the same thing. You know what I mean? And I think that's like spectacular. By the way, if you made it to this far, give yourself a pat on the back. Like dead ass congratulations, okay? Because my attention span is so fried, I cannot make it past like a 2-minute long, like just yap video like this. So if you're still here, your attention span is not, to be honest, if you're still here, you're not really my target audience because you can clearly watch the end of this video. So I don't really know, because the only people who would make it to this part of the video are people who clearly their attention spans aren't that cooked. So they don't really need like a core message, but you know, it's whatever. Fuck it. Like we're here. You know what I mean? Like I saw like a meme. I remember seeing a meme and it was like, if I showed this shit to a caveman, their like brains would explode. And it was talking about like a Mr. Beast video or something. And I was just thinking like, that's so true. You know what I mean? Like a caveman, what do they do? 90% of the time, they just walk around and they like follow footprints or something. And they forage for berries. And I guess in the last like 2 hours a day, they have like ooga booga sex, but like whatever. Okay. But like, you show a caveman a Mr. Beast video, which has like an edit every like half second, yeah. I remember one time earlier, like maybe a few months ago, I was really sick, right? And I had a headache. And I watched a Mr. Beast video, and it deadass made me like low key want to kill myself. Like I can't like I'm not hating. Actually, am I hating? I don't know if I'm hating or not. But it was just so much stimulation. Like I could feel it just like rushing through my brain, and it just made my headache so much worse. I had to like put that shit down. That was quite an experience. You know what I mean? So, because I've been doing a lot of talking, right? Like, what can you actually do to solve overstimulation? And this is something I'm trying to figure out for myself as well. Because again, I have this problem as well. I'm trying to figure it out, right? The obvious answer is to like stop scrolling, stop playing video games. But like beyond like the obvious stuff, right? Like stop scrolling, stop always being stimulated. What else can we do? I think meditation works. I feel like meditation's been working for me more often because a lot of the times what will happen is I'm like lost in thought, or I'm just like distracted, or I'm just like on my phone, for example. And then whenever I'm consistent with my meditation, what will happen is I will like more often snap out of that distracted state. So I do think meditation works. But also like learning to live life slow is an art. It's a thing you gotta learn. You know what I mean? It's not just like a mentality. Like I could tell you, like, oh, live life slowly. You know what I mean? Don't be overstimulated. And you'll understand it intrinsically. You'll be like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. But it's like just telling you this thing isn't gonna make you 50% more like have a 50% longer attention span, right? I think it's just, to be honest, cutting overstimulation probably is just the way. You know what I mean? Just stop scrolling. Stop playing video games. And you're going to feel bored. You're going to feel really, really bored. Like, for example, in class, I feel so freaking bored when the teachers are talking about actual nothing. Like, they're serving me a huge plate, just a massive nothing burger. But instead of, like, opening Lead Chess, like a chess or cool math games or anything, I will sit there and I'll be like, no, use this as an opportunity to train your boredom. And I'll be like, fine, guess I'll do that. So sometimes during class, I just, like, instead of, like, opening anything, I just sit there, I'm just like, oh, yes, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Oh, that's so interesting. You know what I mean? And I think the main way you combat overstimulation and being distracted all the time is by being in the present moment. And the only things I can really say, like I could spout like a lot of BS, you know what I mean, that I've like seen regurgitated online. But to be honest, I don't really know if those things work because I haven't like really tested them for myself. The only things I know work is like, first of all, cutting out overstimulation. Second of all, being more bored throughout the day, okay? Embrace boredom. When you're bored, it shouldn't be a thing that you like try and chase away. It should be like a thing you embrace. It should be like, okay, I'm bored right now. That's good. Being bored has all of these benefits, yada, 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 and meditation. It's like those three. I guess having good sleep, like when I have good sleep, I also have like a longer attention span and I'm less like fidgety. So that could also be something. Those are just a few tips. These are just my yap sessions. Hopefully you're finished your meal by now. Hopefully you're done. If you're not, hurry up and like go do some work after this. You know what I mean? Let this be the last video you ever watch while at the dinner table. Okay? After you finish this video, close it and go have a conversation with your parents, who I know are just like sitting right by you. Ask them how your day was. Ask them yada yada yada. You know what I mean? Peace.